shots that we were taking a couple weeks ago or less, whenever, that weren't going in. I don't know that they were that much different. They're going in now, so all of a sudden, the points pile up, and I think that I think things are moving a little bit smoother. Although I think I don't know that the first quarter was as smooth as I would like it to be, but we're getting good shots. The ball's moving well. People are being unselfish like they usually are, and as I said, we made more threes today than we probably made the month of January. I think felt like it anyway.
And it's always, Memphis always does something to impress, but 30 and 14, 12 and 16 from the floor. Just have you seen her be this efficient over this amount of time?
Well, I mean, those people that were around 2 years ago when she was a sophomore, I think they got to see one of the all-time great seasons ever, in that I've been a part of anyway at Connecticut basketball, and she's just about duplicating that. I don't know that there's a better player anywhere that does as much every night. I'm sure people already have made up their mind who the best player in the country is, or who the National Player of the Year is, whatever, any of that. I just don't know that there's anyone that on every single night does all the things that FISA does. And I don't know that there's another player anywhere that when they come off the court, somebody will say, FISA didn't play well. They might say she didn't shoot well, but they'll never say impossible that she didn't play well. That just doesn't happen, ever. And it's never happened. I've never seen it happen. There may be times where she's not great or she struggled at some things, but, I said at one point, I said, I know we're not missing a lot of shots. I said, but we ought to be able to get at least one offensive rebound, don't you think? And I knew that the only one capable of getting an offensive rebound on our team is Lou. I mean, that's Feast. So, as soon as I said it, I think she ended up getting 2 or 3 of them.
Geno, we saw Crystal hobble off a little bit from our seats at the concession stand, so I was wondering if she's okay. She didn't go to a trainer, and just about her shot selection and her decision when to shoot the ball today seemed to be really, really good.
Yeah. I'm going to have to talk to the seating people then. Evan, I don't know if Evan's in here. You guys really shouldn't be seating up there in the concessions. I told him I didn't want you that close. So I'll have to have a word with him about that. One of the best things that you can do when you have the ball in your hands all the time is put the ball in somebody else's hands for an easy shot. And all the great guards that we've ever had have been able to do that. And I think it's taken Crystal a while to understand that it's not necessarily this isn't gymnastics, you don't get any points for what it looks like. You just have to get the ball to the right people at the right time in the right place. And for the most part, that's what's happening right now. And know also when it's time to shoot it for yourself. And she seems to be in a pretty good space right now where she's got that figured out. And when you have our three, with Lou, Feast, and Crystal, when they're playing at a real high level, that's why we scored a lot of points, because all three of them can put a lot of points on the board. And right now, that's kind of where, Crystal's been shooting the ball like this every day in practice for the last month. They just weren't going in games. Now they're going in. So now you got to guard her, and now she can create. Man, Temple made a lot of threes tonight. Holy moly. God, 14 of them, huh? told you, we were the worst defensive team in the country. We were terrible. It's the new world, though, you know? Back in the day, we might have won this game 80-40. We would never let anybody get to 50, but those days, you know, they're like going, you know? It's like, get your hand up. I know, but you gotta get close to them. And, the ball goes in, you just turn around and run back, you know?
We knew in the first one just about hit the ceiling.
Yeah. Then you know it's gonna be a good day. Then I think they banked a couple of them in too. I wanna count, I wanna ask Ben to go look at all the videos. I wanna count. I think there's been very few games this year when someone didn't bank one in against us. It's really ironic. It's like you can almost count on it. It's like when Molly goes near you, you know the ball's going in. If you look at any basket the last 5 minutes of the game and you freeze frame it, you know Molly's not further than 2 feet away. It's just one of those things. It happens all the time.
I don't know how much you follow South Carolina, but the one thing that seems to be about them this season is how much they've improved. They really struggled early on and made a couple changes and it really improved. I don't know how much you've seen, but just some impressions of South Carolina.
Well, yeah, they have. I think when you have to change your focus as much as they've had to change, you know, so much of what they were doing was built around Asia Wilson and their inside game, and I think it's evolved now where they have more guards on the floor and their guards are really skilled and they put a lot of pressure on you with their offense, and because there's more people putting shots up, they're a little more difficult to defend now than they were in the last 2 or 3 years. And I think that makes them a little bit better defensive team as well when you've got, you know, a lot more quickness on the floor. So whenever you're going to make that big of a change, it takes a little bit of time. And yeah, they're playing about as well as anybody right now.
I mean, how important do you think it is for your team's psyche, just moving forward towards March, to get, you know, to play well against another top 15 team?
Play well, yeah. I mean, that's obviously the reason why you play these games. You wanna play in a really challenging scenario where it's like an NCAA tournament game. Coming off of one day to prepare, you know, when you have a game on Saturday. So the more you can do that, the better. And Monday, again, you play these games not because you need to improve your ranking or you need to pad your record or whatever the case may be. You know, you play these games because, yeah, the more times you play well in these games, the more you feel when you get into March that you've kind of experienced a lot of different things. You know, you want to be able to, I was telling the players recently, maybe it's yesterday, I don't know, today, you know, when you see the bracket in the NCAA tournament and you see 16 teams and there's, you know, you and 15 other teams, you might see 10 different styles of basketball on all those teams. So the more teams you can play during the season that exposes you to that, I think the better you're going to be come March. And yeah, you want to play well, absolutely. You know, because after that we're at Central Florida, right? So good week for us. Good week coming up. Great crowd today, huh? It's like the old days. Good job, Neil. It's like the old days today. Yeah. Yeah. Half of Massachusetts was here to see Molly, right? Yeah. Wasn't there a lot of teams here or something? A lot of kids, a lot of young kids. You know, Molly looks just like them, so they thought she was one of them. She snuck in the game.